Honestly, I feel like one thing these celebrities fail to understand is we made you and we can destroy you. I feel like that is one of the major things some of these celebrities fail to understand. They thought because they've gotten the clouds, because they've gotten the fame, because they've gotten everything, they can just literally come and do anything here and yeah, it can just go well. And especially when you are dealing with Black people, you need to tread with caution because, as far as I'm concerned, we are the only one that can put you up there. And we are still the only one as Black folks that can bring you down. Let it make sense to me that this lady forgot that she once had this advert. This white lady forgot that she once had this glamorous advert that she thought she has achieved every single thing in her life, in her entire life. She thought she has achieved the fame and the rest of that. She never knew that there is going to come a point in life where people that literally support Black folks will tell her that I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to advertise with you. I'm not going to act this movie. I'm not going to stand with you. I'm not going to show my face on that red carpet with you. And that became a whole lot of disaster. What a fatful season. Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Now, let's get right into this video and I'll be back with commentaries.
Sydney Sweeney is having the worst week in recorded history, from Zendaya refusing to do press with her for Euphoria Season 3, three of her movies absolutely flopping at the box office, getting in a messy public fight with her ex-fiance the same week she's seen kissing Scooter Braun in the park. It's a mess. Here's everything you need to know, plus Sydney's response to all of it. According to media outlets, Zendaya is refusing to take a seat next to Sydney Sweeney during any promotional event or press interview for the upcoming season of Euphoria. An alleged source close to them says that Zendaya is upset by Sydney's political affiliations, including being outed as a Republican in 2024, even though they grew up together on the show. Zendaya is apparently smart enough to know that just being seated next to her can read as Zendaya excusing Sydney's recent actions. There's rumors online that Zendaya is even upset about old tweets Sydney has liked about Tom Holland, saying that he's fine and attractive and she wants him. It's just for the best that they stay away. Can we blame Zendaya? Because when Sydney had the chance to apologize for the American Eagle jeans video, she really disdainly refused to take any accountability. Sydney's also getting ridiculed online because she's apparently the actor with the most flops at the box office this year, with her movie Christy only making $1.3 million at the box office, even though it had a $15 million budget. And with the fact that it was released in over 2,000 theaters means it is the 9th worst performing movie ever with a big theatrical release. Despite the movie that she was hyping up for years being a flop, Sydney said that she's still proud of this movie because we don't just make art for numbers, we make it for impact, and Christy has been one of the most impactful projects of my life. And I think we can all agree with that, but then Ruby Rose came out and said that Sydney Sweeney ruined the Christy Martin movie because Ruby was going to be in the original one until Sydney got her hands on it, changed the script, and ruined it. She said for Sydney Sweeney to talk about how she just did this movie for the people and doesn't care that it flopped, you ruined the film, period. Christy deserves better. Sydney's movie Americana that came out recently also grossed under $500,000 against a budget of $9 million. Her third movie released, Eden, also only made $2.5 million against a $55 million budget. Another messy thing to happen this week is Sydney was seen with her ex-fiance, Jonathan Davino, having a fight publicly that TMZ then recorded. They broke up in March 2025, so I don't know why they were together. According to TMZ, Sydney was heard screaming, "I don't believe you. Leave me alone. Please leave," to Jonathan. I mean, this is the same week she was seen kissing Scooter Braun on a rock, holding hands on dates. They're really on their love affair. And why am I like, oh, this is so cute? And then I remember what Scooter Braun did. Now Sydney can never be in a Taylor Swift video.
Oop, y'all, the streets are saying that Zendaya is refusing to do red carpets with Sydney Sweeney because of her stance and the outrage from the Great Jeans commercial. So in case you didn't know, they've been filming for season 3 of Euphoria, which we've been dying for. Like, what took y'all so long? Anyway, it seems like the filming has wrapped up and they're supposed to be doing red carpet appearances. Now, for some context, Sydney Sweeney recently did an interview with a journalist, and when she was asked about how she felt that the president spoke out on her behalf, this was her response.
Like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public.
Apparently, that didn't sit right with Zendaya, as it shouldn't, and she's saying that she cannot be seen out with her promoting Euphoria. And I don't blame her, because what are we talking about? But I guess we're going to see in upcoming interviews and on the red carpet if Zendaya stands 10 toes down on that, which she honestly could, because Zendaya is the program. She's not just bigger than the program, she's the program.
Sweeney's movie Christy ended up flopping, and that's not really surprising to me because she built up a fan base of right-wing incel losers. And I don't know why she thought that picking up a movie about a lesbian boxer that is going through domestic violence with a man would work out and be successful with her fan base. Because like if you're if you're going after the male gaze and you're not in like OF or any kind of like adult content, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're like a movie actress. Because that just makes no sense to me, bro. Anything that is adjacent to being woke is not going to appease your fan base. And it's really unfortunate for her career because she was on an upward trajectory, bro. But she's had like, 3 flops back to back to back. And also, I don't know if Madam Web was a flop, but that's actually one of the worst movies ever made. However, it's hilarious, but not on purpose. God, Madam Web is actual delicious garbage, like just some good filth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just not really surprised with this shit, bro, because it's like, one, her fans are not going to support a project like this, and two, I really didn't see that much promotion for it. Like, I just recently went to a movie like a few weeks ago, and I saw that trailer, and it really didn't look interesting. And then when I seen it was Sweeney in it, I was like, I don't know about this, bro. So, yeah, man, she just cannot stop taking L.
Unfortunately for Sydney Sweeney, the internet is forever, and the old tweets that she had liked about Tom Holland have been dug up. If you are new here, we are talking about Zendaya allegedly not wanting to promote the new season of Euphoria alongside Sydney Sweeney. There have been lots of blinds about these two over the years, saying that Sydney Sweeney did not like Zendaya, she was trash-talking her. And a part of that reasoning is people believe that Sydney Sweeney wants Zendaya's man, she wants Tom Holland. So I went digging and I found the tweets for you. This was back in 2021. Mind you, Zendaya and Tom started officially dating in 2021. He was coming to visit her regularly on set, on Euphoria's set. So Sydney knew he was there to see Zendaya. She was allegedly on Twitter liking tweets about it. And when that's your coworker's man that you see him coming to see her every day on set, I think that's a little crazy. Girl is so Cassie coded in real life. She took that role seriously. She wanted to method act Cassie, I guess, and try and steal her coworker's boyfriend. Obviously didn't work because look at the way that Tom looks at Zendaya. And Zendaya clears Sydney Sweeney every day of the week. But I just think it's funny. I think that it's really, really funny that she did not get the man that she wanted and then went around and trash talked Zendaya behind her back, allegedly. Jealousy is not cute, honey.
Zendaya says she ain't gonna be on no set with Sydney Sweeney. I know that's right. Because when I watched that American Eagle interview, it was weird. Like, it was racist. Like, Then her family is open Trump supporters. It just give racist. Like, I don't know. She throwing me off. I just think they need to get her off the show. Because y'all have to remember, it's a lot of different groups that watch Euphoria. It's not just one race. Black people watch it. It's not just white people that watch it. And it makes Euphoria look bad. It makes people not want to watch the show because they have a racist acting on the show. Hello? And honestly, like, I wouldn't mind if they took her off the show. I mean, I don't feel like Cassie really needs to be in Euphoria no more. Like, her character is not a good character. Like, she literally effed her best friend's boyfriend. Hello? Like, that's not a good character. Like, she don't look good in that show no more. So I feel like I wouldn't really care if they kicked her off. I wouldn't. Like, I really want to see Zendaya. Like, I really don't feel like Sydney really doing anything for the show anyways. Like, she's not bringing nothing to the table. People is not watching for her. Like, we all watching for Zendaya. Somebody get her off Euphoria immediately.
Y'all, after this interview I just watched, I am convinced that Sydney Sweeney is a MAGA Republican and no one can convince me otherwise. Y'all need to see this.
Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself? Okay. Yeah. And the criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
We should talk about Cassie. You got that?
Like, this woman is racist. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. Because how hard is it
to have replied and been like, well, I don't think white jeans are superior. Yeah, I definitely don't think that, and it wasn't intended to be that way. That would have been really simple to do. You know what I mean? Like, really simple. And she chose to stand 10 toes down on that ad and say, when there's an issue I want to talk about, I'll speak about it. So you don't think joking about white supremacy is an issue that you feel compelled to speak on after an ad you made, babe? Oh my God, she is so fucking MAGA, Trump, Republican coded. Also, earlier in the interview, the interviewer asked her how she felt when President Trump tweeted about her, and she was like, it was surreal. Him tweeting about me, it was surreal. Like, who the fuck says that? Anyways, I will not be watching anything Sydney Sweeney is in from now on. Love you guys, bye.
Is a prime example of why people in Hollywood do not like rich black women. Zendaya obviously did not like the American Eagle jeans ad that Sydney Sweeney did, just like everybody else didn't like it. And Zendaya put her foot down and she said, I am not doing a press tour for Euphoria Season 3 with a racist. I don't have to. Everybody knows that Zendaya has more money than Sydney Sweeney. And when a rich black woman puts her foot down and she says, I am not doing this, I got too much money to do with this, this is why they want to keep us down. They want to have control over you and they can't control Zendaya. So I'm happy for Zendaya for putting her foot down and saying that she doesn't want to do the press tour with Sydney Sweeney. And obviously she doesn't have to, because the show's still gonna, be good whether they do a press tour together or not. I'm still gonna support Euphoria Season 3 because I love the show and, I support Zendaya, but, this is gonna be interesting since they're not getting along right now. I don't know how many other people on the show are not getting along, but this is going to...
Sources are claiming that Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya are currently in a, quote, bitter feud. Here's what's going on. According to Daily Mail, Zendaya is refusing to stand by or do promo with Sydney Sweeney for Season 3 of Euphoria. And the reason for their feud seems to be because of their different political views as well as Sydney's recent controversies. By now, I'm sure we're all familiar with the controversy behind Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad, so I don't really feel the need to go that into details about it and make this video longer than it needs to be. But I did post a video recently about the ad and Sydney's response to it. I'll have it linked below if you want the full details. But anyways, let's get back to this feud. At this point, I feel like it's no secret that Sydney is also a supporter of the Trump administration, which Zendaya has been openly against throughout the years. In fact, in the 2020 election on her Instagram, Zendaya encouraged her fans to, quote, vote this MF out. So given her different views and the current political climate, it makes sense why Zendaya would try to distance herself from Sydney. With one source saying it's no wonder she's refusing to do it, it's a difficult position for Zendaya to be in because if she even stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. And clearly the controversies have had an impact on Sydney Sweeney's career. In fact, Sydney has had 3 movies released in theaters recently, and all 3 of them have bombed in the box office. And to me that shows that her name currently isn't holding the weight that it used to a year ago. So I'm really curious to see what her career looks like in the next couple of years, especially after Euphoria ends. I want to know what you guys think about this feud though, so be sure to let me know.
Zendaya's out here being Oakland's finest, absolutely positively refusing to do press with Sydney Sweeney, the poster child for eugenics of 2025. And I absolutely love this. What I love about Zendaya as an Oakland girl is that she's an Oakland girl. She represents Oakland at its finest. She's multicultural. She's Creole and Latino. She is high end. I mean, we have seen the fashion. Her and Laura Roach together are match made in heaven, and all the models should be thankful that she chose acting and not modeling, because she's got the height, she's got the beauty, she's got the grace, she's got the body, she's got the style, she's got the charm. So putting her next to somebody who tried to sell a cheap pair of jeans using eugenics as a hook to get consumers would absolutely be bad for the brand, Zendaya. I completely support you. I see the vision. I understand. And I really like standing on business at a time that our country is being so divided by politics that are so demeaning to people of color. As a person of color, she's standing on business and saying, absolutely not. I will not sit next to you and do anything because we don't represent the same values and ideas. And at a time that I feel like entertainers are being pushed to either be silenced, act like they're neutral, pretend they don't see race, act like they don't see the issues that are happening in this country. For Zendaya, at what may be close to the peak of her career, she is really killing it everywhere. For her to take this type of stance, I think is completely admirable. And the trash takes itself out. To just not even be in the same room with, you're not going to interact with, you're not even going to be a part of this, brings me joy.
That girl look like her parents are cousins, and you expect her to get on a podcast and clear her name? She says she has good genes. What was she gonna say? Exactly. And then Zendaya, we trust. Because I didn't even need to say, Zendaya, you need to separate yourself from her. She's already done it. I love Zendaya. She said she's refusing to promote Euphoria with Sydney Sweeney. I'm so freaking happy. Like, I'm so happy. And she got the nerve to say, I'm more aware than people think. Like, oh, so you know you part of the KKK too? You know you did a poster child?
Zendaya is refusing to do press with Sydney Sweeney for the new season of Euphoria. I knew I loved her for a reason. Now, it is alleged, but obviously this would be due to the fact that Sydney had that crazy racist ad going on with American Eagle. And then she hangs out with Trump. Her family are openly red hat wearers. She was at fucking Jeff Bezos' wedding. Like, you know she has something to do with them and she's deeply connected when you're at Jeff Bezos' wedding. That, or you're out here doing favors for old men. And then to top it off, the other day Sydney had an interview where the interviewer literally asked her to clear up or clear her name when it came to the American Eagle ad. And what did Sweeney have to say? She basically said, I am not on your team. I am sitting on the other side. I am fully aware of it and I'm proud of it. She said that she knows what was going on, and if she had anything to address, she would have addressed it. So obviously she had no problem with the discourse that was going on. Anyone who had a problem with that would have clearly said, I know how it came, but that wasn't the intentions, and I apologize for any discomfort or any feelings that I hurt. So if it comes out to be true that Zendaya is refusing to do promo with her, I'm gonna love that, and I'm gonna be so proud of her, because not everyone is willing to stand up for the right thing, especially in Hollywood.
So I'm hearing on the street that Sydney Sweeney is really mad because she wanted Tom Holland, but Zendaya, a black woman, got him instead. There are two things white women are going to be when they are jealous of black women. And that's either one, they're going to try to act like us and take our men, right? But still hate us, but trying to act like us. I can name a few, but you guys could do that in the comments. And then two, they're going to become white supremacists. Taylor Swift, Sydney Sweeney, white pride. Amen. It really gribbles up white women. The reason we are in the state that we are in America right now is because of jealousy of white women. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone gaslight you. The proof is in the polls. The proof is in the pudding. There's a deep jealousy. And white women would rather follow behind the person that is hurting them. White men. Right? Because they're pick-me's and because they're jealous and cannot stand a black woman. But that's really what it is. You know, being a black woman is really interesting at the end of the day. Because all we do is exist.
Is back because nobody cared to even watch this film by Sydney Sweeney. Now, the sad thing about this film debuting as one of 9 or one of 12 of the worst box openings this weekend is that Christy's story should have been told. We're just going to start from the top. So, according to Discussing Films, this movie by the name of Christy, who was being portrayed by Sydney Sweeney, had opened in 2,000 theaters and had only marked about $1.05 million in sales, which again, put it at the time it was released as the 9th worst box opening film in US history to now the 12th. Now, this biopic is the portrayal of Christy Martin. She is inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and she was having a lot of struggles on and off the ring. According to People magazine, Christy, who was in a same-sex relationship in high school, then ended up marrying her husband Jim, wanted to divorce him. And because she had told him, hey, I wanted to rekindle my relationship with my previous partner, he stabbed her. He did. He literally stabbed her. And he shot her. He stabbed her and shot her. Now, this happened back in 2010. And by 2012, after all of that ended up being settled out, she ended up retiring from boxing and then ended up being inducted in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. She ended up being the first woman to be elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So she ended up having this like incredible career and incredible life. And the sad part about it is that most people don't even know about it because of Sydney Sweeney portraying her in this biopic. But when you do ads about jeans and then double down on it when people told you that it was a lot of racist dog whistles, anything that Sydney Sweeney is going to touch is going to fail. And that's sad because Christy Martin's story should have been told because it discusses women in athletic sports, domestic violence, and just so much more. And I feel really bad for the person who was being depicted in this film because I feel like her story is not told, and it sucks because look at the person telling it.
Such a deep web when it comes to Sydney Sweeney, the Ellis family, and Mr. Orange Man over here. I'm gonna save it for Substack. We're gonna talk about this girl right here because her new movie flopped at the box office this opening weekend. It opened to $1.3 million, making it one of the most worst opening weekends of all time for a film that was released in over 2,000 theaters. Now, if you want to look at the weekend box office, this is what it looked like. Predator Badlands was always going to open on #1. It's a franchise movie. The rest of the films in the top 10 are all having their second or more weekend at the box office. The reason why people are talking about this specifically is because the week of the film's release, Sydney Sweeney did a sit down with GQ for their Man of the Year cover, and she was asked about the American Eagle ad, and she gave the most white girl answer. Now, I don't think she expected for MAGA to not come out and support the film. I think with the current state of the country, she just thought that people were just going to go just because. Now, before I started filming this video, she came out and spoke about the box office disappointment, saying that this story is important and it helped so many people in bringing awareness to Christy's story. I don't think she realizes that her public image and bad PR overshadowed the entire film itself. Not all press is good press, and bad press is going to mess up your opening weekend as well as your overall box office and chances at award buzz. Now, her next movie is The Housemaid. It comes out December 19th, so right before Christmas. It's a book adaptation. It was a popular series. And baby, I don't know if Amanda Seyfried can carry the torch of the press tour because with this damn campaign, you out with Scooter Braun, and just the overall oversaturation of her and so many projects.
Whoever recasted Sydney Sweeney is just as problematic as her. Because it's like, if you already know that she has problems with the main actor, Zendaya, and if you know that she now has problems with Alexi Demi, I don't know how to say her name, why would you, by like all means, why would you recast her as if her acting isn't something that could be replaced? It's not amazing. It's not subpar, but it's not amazing. So why didn't you just replace her? You took forever to give it to us anyway. We could have waited a little bit longer if that means recasting her, not recasting her.
Listen to what people say and watch how people behave and believe your eyes and ears. Sydney Sweeney just did an interview with GQ. And during this interview, she stated very clearly what mattered to her. And she evaded what clearly did not matter to her. And I think that so often we look to seek and find depth where there is none. We look to see and seek out explanations when there aren't any. She was asked by the reporter about her feelings on the American Eagle ad, as if it was the elephant in the room that they had to really discuss. And during that time, Sydney Sweeney was very blatant about not wanting to talk about it. She was honest and forthcoming about talking about domestic violence and stating that that was important to her. She was clear on the importance of art as it relates to messaging. She's not naive to the fact that what you put out into the world has messages attached to it. She was clear. The effect of the American Eagle ad, she was clear, but she was unbothered. You need to pay attention to what people say and how they act and not pretend it is different than what you see and what you hear. She is not concerned. Race relations in the United States and subliminal messages within American Eagle ads are not a priority in the messaging of what she considers art. She understands messaging within art. Just be clear on that. She understands that art can be interpreted in so many different ways, and she appreciates the various interpretations that it may have. But as it relates to this particular ad, she just loved jeans. as if to say, what is the big deal and why do people keep talking about it? At the end of the interview, or even close to the end, she even said, when pressed by the interviewer about how is it being perceived, or how are people looking at this ad, or do you realize that people are looking at it in this way? She said, when I want to talk about something, people will know it. She's not a fool. She's not a shy kid that doesn't understand the importance of art and the importance of messaging within art. She's clear. So moving forward, when people tell you where they stand, believe them. When they show you where they stand, believe them. Don't think that they're naive or that they're too young to not know what the messaging is behind what it is that they're doing. She's clear, and she stated it blatantly for all of us to understand. She's not interested in talking about race relations in the United States, and she's definitely not interested in looking deeper into how we see the American Eagle ad. When people tell you what they believe them. And when they show you what they believe them.
Yep, and this is why Zendaya won't work with her now. Sydney Sweeney recently sat down with GQ for an interview where one of the topics discussed was the controversial American Eagle jeans ad. Critics argued that the ad was insensitive because it contained dog whistles of eugenics and palm-colored nationalism, and this is how Sydney responded to those claims.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
Here we go.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
This is gold. This response did not go over well with certain audiences because they feel like Sydney was purposely being smug, apathetic, and dismissive. Like, y'all are getting so mad about how she responded in this interview, and I did not expect her to answer the questions any other way. You want to know why? Because the ad was extremely successful and made her and American Eagle so much money. As of September 2025, American Eagle's stock jumped 25%, and the CEO even thanked the campaign for the boost in sales and brand awareness. The Sydney jacket and jean sold out in a blink of an eye, and you can thank all of those think pieces for that, because guess what? Controversy is profitable. So no, Sydney Sweeney was never going to address the backlash she got from that ad because it worked in her and American Eagle's favor. And y'all cannot tell me that a part of her new PR strategy is not intentionally leaning into controversies, because why was she photographed kissing Scooter Braun? The two are allegedly dating, but I think it's a PR relationship. If you don't know who Scooter Braun is, he is a notorious entertainment executive and businessman, but he does have a reputation for allegedly being a bully and having shady business practices. Like, he had a very public feud with Taylor Swift because he bought the masters to her first 6 albums without her knowing, and yeah, it was a whole thing. I say all this to say, if y'all do not care for how Sydney is moving, the best thing y'all can do is stop talking about her, stop supporting her, distance yourself completely. In fact, word on the street is that Zendaya is refusing to do any public press with Sydney Sweeney to promote the upcoming Euphoria season 3 due to the controversies that Sydney has been involved in. Once again, all of that information is alleged, but I cannot blame Zendaya if that is true, because she got way too much going on.
Talk about Sydney Sweeney. We all can agree that Sydney Sweeney was the biggest target for cancel culture this year. And it all started off with her American Eagle campaign. And for the first time last week in an interview, she addressed all the controversy. And her response is kind of suspicious.
Were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad. The reaction definitely was a surprise, but I love jeans.
Her jean ad was so huge that Donald Trump tweeted about it, which led to her political views being public. And Zendaya is not happy about it. The Daily Mail reports that Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are in a bitter feud over differences in their political beliefs. Zendaya is reportedly refusing joint interviews and red carpet photos with Sydney Sweeney while promoting Euphoria. But that's not all, because Sydney Sweeney has earned 4 flop movies, with 3 of them being box office releases, the most for any actor in 2025. And the movies they're referring to is Echo Valley, Eden, Americana, and Christy. The actress Ruby Rose calls Sydney Sweeney a cretin as her movie Christy tanks at box office. Let's be honest, the only thing that's gonna uplift Sydney Sweeney's career is Euphoria. And guys, that's not all. Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun has made their relationship public. They were spotted kissing on a rock in Central Park. And they knew what they were doing because they saw the camera and they started making out. Sydney is unbothered. What do you guys think about
Sweeney's movie flopped tremendously. Tremendously. This is her third movie that she starred in this year that flopped. I think it's safe to say that, for one, she's not a leading actress. She does not thrive where she is the lead. She's good in Euphoria because she's not the lead. And also, she pandered to the wrong audience. So obviously, she got a lot of hate on her ad with, I believe it was Abercrombie and Fitch, where they played into genetics and her being, genetically the favorite because she has blonde hair and blue eyes. And, they tried to do a play on jeans and actual denim jeans, and it just did not go over well. It just was not it. And then recently she did an interview where she was asked about white supremacy and, basically asked to denounce it. And she basically said, she dodged the question. She didn't want to answer. And she said, long story short, if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it, and I don't care. So it's safe to say that, she does feel superior because she's white, and maybe there's a little racism there. That's not what the video is about. I think, based on her actions, some of the interviews that she's done, she panders to white men, okay? She panders to incels, conservative men who don't respect women. So the only thing that she would be successful at, with that being her target audience, is OnlyFans. But they're not going to support any of your projects that you do because they don't support women, right? And I know people are going to say, well, she got paid regardless. Yeah, she did. But in the future, she might have trouble booking different roles because history has now shown, her track record is showing that her movies don't do well. And maybe the movie could have done well with a different lead. I don't know, but I didn't watch the movie. There wasn't a lot of marketing for it. It didn't look like a movie I was going to watch anyway, but I didn't even know about the other two.
Shout out to Sydney Sweeney, right? Because she got something that a lot of these mainstream people, a lot of these celebrities, they just don't have it. Cojones, principles, and a damn backbone. She actually stands on business. When the woke mob comes for her and they try to... Because I know y'all seen that interview. I know y'all seen that little excerpt from that interview. That's just going viral. Great job. This is how you deal with the woke mob. This is exactly how you deal with people who just try to cancel you for doing a simple ad promoting some jeans. The woke mob tried to catch her out in that interview asking her that question, right? And she didn't apologize, as she should not have. Because we all know what happens when you apologize to the woke mob. A lot of celebrities can learn from this. A lot of people who are very famous on the internet can really learn from this. When the woke mob comes after you, you don't bend. You don't fold. You don't try to pull some PR stunt or give a politically correct answer. You stand on what you said before. Because, let's be honest, your integrity is going to be questioned once you trickle back and you try to go back on what you said. Y'all want a perfect example? Look at Joey Swole. When Hulk Hogan died, he posted a tribute to Hulk Hogan saying that he was one of his greatest heroes and, he respected Hulk Hogan. The whole woke mob came after him, right? Oh, he was a racist. He told his daughter he doesn't want her dating a nigga. Look what they did to that man when he apologized, right? Worst thing he could have ever done. And Joey Swole, he looks like a great person. Like, you know what I'm saying? A guy with he's just trying to help people out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really watch his content like that, but just off of, the way how he apologized, I could tell that he was sincere. But you can't apologize to the woke mob. Like, they're going to use it against you. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. He bent the knee, thoughting that they were going to forgive him. Nah, they just attacked him even harder. This is exactly how the woke mob works. They don't want apologies. They want control. They want you to be embarrassed, obedient, and humiliated. So, not just celebrities. Anybody could take an example out of, this Sydney Sweeney interview. When you have a point and you firmly believe that, because listen, this is America. This is we can have our own opinions, right? You're free to think whatever the hell you want as long as you're not inciting violence, right? A lot of people can learn from that. If you have a stance and you stand by something, just because somebody's questioning your ideology doesn't mean that you have to bend the knee and apologize, or somebody's offended by something that you say, you don't necessarily have to bend the knee and fold to them. You cannot apologize it's never worth apologizing to people who were never going to forgive you in the first place.
Because if you think Zendaya is not doing any press with Miss Sydney Sweeney down here just because of some jean commercial, you got another thing coming. Tell me how my best friend had to give me this damn tea because, honey, nobody's really talking about it that much. But like everybody's saying that, oh, it's because she, doesn't like the whole MAGA thing and the whole American Eagle ad. No, it has nothing. I mean, it could be the icing on the cake, of course, but it has all to do with you liking some weird tweets about Tom Holland. Like a lot of fans that will repost him and say, oh my God, he's so fine. He's this, he's that. She was liking them. And honey, we got the screenshots. If you look at the video, you can see all the screenshots. Apparently, this was back in 2021, the same year it was announced that they were dating. Okay. So, and then they also said that he would show up to the set of Euphoria like multiple times this season. They also said that these two didn't get along, and they said she ain't like her because she was trying to get her man. And honestly, if that's the case, Zendaya, I do not mind. I mean, like, and I really wouldn't mind if you didn't want to, if it was just about the American Eagle stuff. But really, yeah, honey, you a little bit too friendly. It's time to wrap this show up, child, so everybody can go in their own separate ways, child. Because, girl, this is crazy. What did y'all?
Not to pretend that racism was a thing of the past, look no further than how Variety just reacted to the new Sydney Sweeney film. Thus, they just made a post claiming that it made $1.3 million in its opening weekend, but they didn't mention the fact that it has a $40 million budget and it was open in over 2,000 plus theaters, making it one of the worst financial openings for a blockbuster movie of all time. However, the same exact company made a post when Sinners came out and it was actually being a commercial success, basically trying to berate the film and saying that it had a long way to go before they recouped their budget. And it is very blatantly obvious that the only reason they tried to undermine and berate the success of Sinners is because of the fact that the film was created by and stars primarily only black people. Sydney Sweeney is treated with kitty gloves by the same exact company with her third box office bomb in the past 3 months, even after this interview where she literally refused to deny her own supremacy to other individuals based upon how dark they are. Ultimately, I feel it says a lot not only about the company Variety, but also this actor herself because of the fact that she has no problem with literally being a straight up bigoted individual in this interview, while starring in a biopic film that is meant to represent the LGBT community and represent female empowerment, as if that is somehow not in the same ballpark as not being a racist. However, this does confirm a fact that most of us refuse to admit, that individuals who are in the LGBT community and those who support the LGBT community can also be very racist, and those two.
Yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Yeah.
Run for not insecure, utopia, euphoria. And God knows, I don't even know why they bringing this shit back, because these people is 35 years old playing high schoolers. And I don't give a good goddamn what Zendaya used on her face. I don't give a good goddamn what Sydney Sweeney used on her face and what type of soap they put in between their legs and in their butt. Neither one of them hoes look 17. Okay? Now, I ain't saying they look old. They look damn good. I don't know what the hell type of movie magic that they asked me to do on Euphoria season 3. But them hoes, honestly and truthfully, their hoe on the right look like Kate plus 8. Y'all cannot tell me she don't look like John and Kate plus 8 over there on the right. That lady look like she got 5 years, 2 kids, and a dog. Okay? And Zendaya, honey, you better turn to the left and pucker and let that light catch you on the right-hand side, because, baby, if it catch you straight on, your ass is going to give a strong 20-something. Nevertheless, they bringing it back for the third season, the third and final season, because these hoes finna be 30 trying to play 17-year-olds, and ain't nobody believing it. I'm trying to, Quentin, do the story. The people say Zendaya don't want to stand next to Whitefish. Maybe she said Whitefish did that ad, and that Zendaya is just not with it. They said on the press tour for season 3, one source explained it's a difficult position for Zendaya because if she stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can be read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. The tension reportedly stems from Sweeney's involvement with American Eagle jeans, as critics. Things allegedly worsened when Sweeney doubled down on the ad in a recent GQ interview, saying, when I have an issue, I want to speak about it, people will hear. So here's the thing. I met Zendaya once at the Essence Festival. I don't know Zendaya from a bag of rocks. All right. But Zendaya is much like Cardi B, and she's much like some of these other artists who are products of a label, products of a movie house, products of a network, and My spirit is telling me that this is not personal between Zendaya and Leah Sweeney. Whatever that girl, Sydney Sweeney. My spirit is telling me that this is not personal. My spirit is telling me, them people saying, she got too many contracts and beautiful things on the line, and we have to keep Zendaya's brand clean. We don't want any crossover, and not to mention, it also may be a play because it's kind of like quiet as it's kept. I honestly think Euphoria could have came out and would nobody had no issue with Zendaya standing next to that damn girl. Quiet as it's kept. We forgot all about that tired ass Gene ad. This also makes Zendaya look better because now she done brought this shit back to life. But she's signaling to the advertisers, look guys, I'm clean. You want family friendly? You want a big Disney movie? I'm clean. I'm not over there with her. You want to put me in the next Jumanji? I'm clean. You want to do a reboot of That's So Raven? I'm clean. There's no scandal with me. I don't hang with scandal people. You don't see me at scandal parties. You don't. That girl says she don't want that MAGA stuff on her doggone brand. She says she don't want that MAGA stuff on her brand, and by God, by no means necessary, should she have it there. Now, speaking of somebody who don't want something on their brand, I'm thinking about to bring Keita on this thing.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope you guys enjoyed all of that clip. I feel like one thing a lot of celebrities forget is that you can eat your cake and have it back. I feel like she never expected what just hit her. Zendaya, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. But that is absolutely a job well done. Where these celebrities literally do not know that whatsoever they are doing, they have to be very careful. Just like one celebrity that came out, I think I did that particular video where she literally said, why are people canceling Christmas? She did a video for people should not boycott Christmas, that Christmas is here. You were trying to just destroy your own brand because you just want to get just one stupid, silly favor at the end of the day. Now you can see you can't match the both energy. There is an energy that supersedes an energy, and I am so excited on what Zendaya actually did. Like, I'm excited. I don't know about you. I really do not know about you, but I think it is high time that these people start learning that you see whatsoever stage the American is right now, your contribution is what pull American to where it is right now. You can be a die-hard MAGA fan and expect to walk on the sweet red carpet with someone as beautiful with a beautiful heart, with someone that at the end of the day, the both of you are not in the same class, as far as I'm concerned. And that is why when Americans actually saw this, they were literally happy. You can see the reaction. Like, I didn't even get so many clips because there are a lot of clips out there that they were like, yeah, this is the main thing. Like, this is what she deserves. Even her own very white folks are like, yeah, this is what she literally deserves. Like, this is what should be done to her. Because one thing I've seen about Sydney is she loves to be on I'm here, I'm there. Like, she don't even have a particular place that she want to stand. When it comes to black people, you need to understand that we have every single thing it takes. I'll keep saying it. If you like, argue it in my comment section. But as a as a black person, we have every single thing it takes to bring your business down. Because honestly, how many brands are even willing to even collaborate with her ever since this, not just this incident, starting from that nonsense gene that she did that Donald Trump actually retweeted and so on and so. Sorry, the orange man actually retreats and so on and so forth. Now tell me, from that time till now, where is the glory that she has literally been exploring on? Because it looked like after that particular advert, every single thing just went down the drain. I don't know, for me. Because unlike the way I usually see most of our influencing job earlier, I just noticed that a lot of things just stopped ever since she did that particular That thing called advert, I don't know. So business is going down, business is crashing, business is instead of making more money, you are going backward. You cannot just come and be like, oh, we make you celebrity. We are the ones to watch, we are the ones to repost, we are the ones to share, we are the ones to make you make that particular money that you're making. So if you treat us as if we are nobody, we are gonna treat you back too. And I'm so happy with the way everything just turned out, honestly. But let me know what you think about this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys, I love you guys. Mwah.